There we are. Perfect. Ray, come back. We'll just introduce Ray as well. So, Josephine is joining us from Vancouver, but Ray here is our local representative for Via Rail. So, thank you both. I think Josephine's presenting today, but Ray is here if you need anything. So, I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you everyone for joining.
So, hello everyone. Yes, I am going to talk about our train and our train up Churchill in particular. So, as all of you probably know, if you've seen my presentations before, I show this map, and Via Rail is Canada's national railroad. We go right across the country on a year-round basis. And we're going to talk about the Canadian to start off with, because most of your clients are going to fly into Vancouver, of course. So taking the train from Vancouver to Winnipeg is a wonderful experience for them. You call it a classic train journey. And because it is a 4-day, 4-night, if you do it all the way to Toronto, however, if you do it to Winnipeg, which is 2 days and 2 nights, it's still a great way for you guys, your clients, to come into Canada, acclimatize to the time difference, the jet lag, and also enjoy this true classic train journey while they're getting ready for their grand exploration in Winnipeg and up to Churchill. So when we travel along, we go through the various different sceneries, landscapes of Canada, including, of course, the mountains, this being Mount Robson, which is one of the most famous views that you will see. The train always does travel through the mountains in daylight hours, no matter what direction and what time of the year, because we do know this is a highlight. We go along a lot of water features, like here is the Athabasca River, and it provides a lot of highlights because you get a chance to see animals closer to the water too. As you can see, the night sky, the daytime sky, the weather changing. These are all things that you get to experience on the train also, and that can add a lot of atmosphere to your voyage. This is showing sunrise going across the prairies. And this was actually a young couple that had joined us for their honeymoon. And they had gone up early in the morning at 5 o'clock just to enjoy a little bit of private time because they were enjoying the trip with their family and friends. So it was just a few minutes for them just to have some chill. And I just happened to go up to catch the sunrise, so got a nice photo of them. The change of season is also nice to see on the train. As you can see here, we're seeing the fall season. And winter is a wonderful time. And it's a wonderful time to go to Churchill and Winnipeg also. So beautiful scenery. It's that magical white landscape everywhere. And again, still great views of the mountains and of the prairies, showing our agricultural side as we go across from Winnipeg into, across Manitoba. Chance to see wildlife along the way, depending on the season. Elk, of course, are going to be available year round. Bears are spring to fall, and then they go into hibernation. Now, the Canadian is a train that you sleep on. So the services are called Sleeper Plus. We have 3 different types of services. Our least expensive is our berths, upper and lower berths. Then we move over to our most popular options, which are cabin for 2, so shared by 2 people that know each other, of course, and a cabin for 1. With this service, you have all of your meals included in the dining car. You have access to all the glass domes, the lounge areas. So it's like a cruise on rails experience. I'm not going to spend too much time here talking about the bedrooms because this presentation will be available to you, so you can go to it. But I need to emphasize right now that this is the same type of accommodation that you will also have on the Churchill train. It's just it's older carriages, so it doesn't have this sort of new modern look to it, but same setup. So cabin for 2, you have 2 chairs during the night, toilet behind the door, a sink, and at night, it's made into an upper and a lower bed. And it is the staff that does all this setup. We can also create a family suite where we open up the wall between the 2 cabins for 2, so you get room for 4 beds, so the family can travel together. Cabin for 1, your own space, no single supplement surcharge, which is great. This is actually my favorite cabin to travel with on the trains because you get the true motion and you get wonderful views out the window as you're lying in bed. And then we move to our berth accommodation. So an upper and a lower berth. 2 seats during the daytime. The cabins for 1 and cabins for 2 have a toilet and a wash basin. The berths have the toilet right beside, and then everybody has a shared shower in the hallway. Okay. On the Canadian, we also have our luxury prestige service, so much larger cabin. It's a full bed. The washroom has a shower, toilet, and wash basin. And then there's the Prestige Park car to enjoy. There's the glass domes. This is available to Sleeper Plus also. We do activities on board like Canadian beer and wine tasting. Here could be artist on board where a Canadian musician will play. Puzzles and games are available. Dining car is where your meals are served on the Canadian. You're seated in parties of 4, so you get a chance to meet other people. And it is the chefs on board that prepare the food. So it's fresh made and really, really wonderful, okay? On the Churchill, we do not have a dining car. We have the Skyline with a cafe, and we have a cook on right now that will make fresh breakfast and fresh sandwiches, but I will present you with some other food options also. So again, not going to go over this because you can look at that yourself for tips. So the Winnipeg to Churchill train. Once you've arrived in Winnipeg and enjoyed some activities in that wonderful city, it's one of my favorite cities to go and visit because there's lots to do year round. It's not crowded. Price point is very good, and it's just really got everything, as Joanne was talking about. So the Winnipeg to Churchill route is 2 days and 2 nights. From Winnipeg to Thompson, there is road and plane access. But once you leave Thompson to go from Thompson to Churchill, there is no longer road access. So it's train or the plane. And of course, the train, we service all of the local communities who live along the route. Most of those are First Nations. The train doesn't go all that fast, to be honest with you. And as we're traveling along, it can happen that the First Nations people will come down to the track, literally hold up their hand, and the driver is obliged to stop the train and let them off and on. And people will get off at certain places also. So it's a train where it's incredible experiences. It's like National Geographic happening. Our economy class service is the most popular service on this train. As you can see, nice, big, comfortable seats. They go back quite a bit. So it's kind of like premium economy on an airline. And then we have the sleeper service. So the upper and lower berths, cabin for 2 and cabin for 1 that we went over. Not really showing the pictures again, but outside the window, you get to see this landscape here. This is basically the tundra, okay? And it can be quite wet, sort of muskegee. There's lots of birds and wildlife. There's caribou in this area, moose, of course. There is a glass dome of which both Sleeper Plus and economy passengers use. So a great chance to meet people along the way. We still do activities on board. We have the lounge area and the cafe area where you get your meal service from. I'm showing these pictures because these were actually taken when I traveled in October of 23 to go up to Churchill with German film crew. And we were lucky. Some of the locals that boarded in Thompson, she was a photographer that posts every day. And she was showing all of us how to take pictures with our cameras from the train. But for me, you can actually see these often with your own eyes. And this was actually our stop in Gillam. So we got out, and as you could see, it was just blanketed there. And so I actually get to brag that every time I have been on the Churchill train, whether it is in summertime, October, November, or in the winter time, while I'm lying in my little cabin for 1 with the window right beside me, I wake up during the night, I look out the window, and I have seen northern lights from my window every single time I've been on the Churchill train. So very happy about that. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I'm very happy about it. There is a lot of northern lights that happen up towards Churchill, Manitoba, and from Thompson on. Other scenery that you will see is, again, this sort of tundra. The trees are very short because the weather is so extreme. And you'll see these tripods because basically that is where there used to be like communication wires. And if it was a pole just straight up and down, it falls over in the permafrost is what it is. So everything is on tripods so that it stays stable. So it's very interesting. When we get to Thompson, you usually have time to walk into town, or if not, if we're a little bit delayed or the weather is bad, you can actually phone Santa Maria Pizza and they will deliver to the train. And it's very, very good sorry, very good pizza, very good pasta. Our train crew do this a lot also because while we have a cook on to make fresh made breakfast and fresh sandwiches at lunch, the dinner is a sort of heat and serve like you would get on an airline. And it's not a bad choice, but the pizza is excellent. So that's something that your clients can do also. The picture on the right, just to show how we support the local people, you'll notice everybody's kind of walking off the train carrying items, and those are pumpkins. So it was Halloween when we went up, and we're delivering the pumpkins to the people in Churchill, and it was their family members and friends that put the pumpkins on in Thompson to bring up to the local community in Churchill, so all the kids up there could carve a pumpkin and have some fun also. So when you arrive into Churchill, which is showing myself and my husband here, of course, wonderful place to visit and enjoy. Most people will come up to Churchill because of these wonderful animals, the polar bears. But to come to see the beluga whales is absolutely amazing. Long daylight hours. And the Aurora program is fantastic, including the Dan's Diner experience, which Joanne mentioned she wanted to do. I had the chance to do that, and it really is spectacular. The food was amazing, and to be out on the frozen ice with conveniences nearby, very good conveniences on the Tundra buggy, and seeing this grand display that nature has to give to you is just, it brought tears to my eyes. It really did. It was fantastic. So that's my very quick presentation. And again, a few little tips here for you that you can check out in the presentation. And Joanne had mentioned, for us, Churchill and seeing the Northern Lights, Churchill is the only opportunity that allows your clients by train to a location that has Northern Lights. And for me, there's still lots that I want to do in Winnipeg and area. Attend the annual music festival at Bird Park, which happens in August, is something I've been wanting to do and we'll get to. I believe it's actually a 5-day festival, but eating the pickerel fish is something that I love to do in the area because it's just beautiful lake fish that is just really delicate, and they harvest it in and fish it out of the lakes in Manitoba. And Joanne had mentioned Clear Lake Country, which is Riding Mountain Park. That is the one area that I want to go in particular. You can actually take the train just to Dauphine from Winnipeg, which is about a 3-hour trip. And then most of the tour operators will meet you there to bring you into Riding Mountain. But that is something I'd like to do too. And of course, travel with Joanne on the train. That's something I'm looking forward to also. So that's it for me, Charlie. Thanks.
Awesome. Love it. I love that you are the lucky charm with seeing the Northern Lights from the train, Josephine. So that's why Joanne wants to go on the train with you, because you're guaranteed to see Northern Lights, right?
Perhaps.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
And for the entertainment, I mean, singing, dancing, card games, you name it.
Yeah. Love
Not
it.
just the locals, but
Nobody
Josephine.
Always
has to
entertaining.
drive, right? Everybody gets to have fun.
I'm
Yeah.
already feeling I'm feeling a
Love
familial
it.
come on here.
Thank you.